So our today's topic, it's related to paper 1 of Islamiyat, question number 3, life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And the topic is about the Prophet, peace upon him's migration from Makkah to Medina, his journey from Makkah to Medina. Before writing the answer, what you have to mention, give a brief background that why this migration took place, that why the Prophet, peace upon him, migrated. You can write a small paragraph, a short paragraph of half page, maximum 10 to 15, 10 to 12 lines about that what were the reasons behind the migration. Okay, events which led to his migration. Briefly talk about it with the death of Abu Talib, which was the year of grief. He has lost the tribal support. Okay, and he was not successful in getting the support from Taif. So after returning from Taif, he had more focus on people coming for the pilgrimage. Pledges were made. Okay, people from Medina, from Yathrib, they started accepting Islam. They not only accepted Islam, but they also invited the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, okay, to Medina. A brief background, a brief mention should be made about the events before the Prophet, peace upon him, left Makkah and his arrival in Medina. So you can talk briefly about it, what happened, what was the condition there in Makkah. Okay, his life was at risk. He has lost the hope from the Makkans, and now he had more focus on the people coming for the pilgrimage. Fine. It was due to all this development he decided to allow his companions to migrate, and he too was given the permission. You have to start the events of the migration from the next paragraph. You can start that in the year 622 in Makkah there was a plot to assassinate him. Okay, they held a meeting. Makkans, they held a meeting at Darun Nadwa. Mentioned that the council of Darun Nadwa, a meeting was held at Darun Nadwa. Quraysh, they met at Darun Nadwa. Tribal chiefs, okay, they discussed how to deal with the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Different suggestions were put forward. Okay, the first suggestion was to drive him out, to exile him, to drive him out of Makkah. But this was turned down. You can also mention that Iblis also joined the meeting. Iblis also, Satan also joined the meeting, and he came in the form of one of the tribal chief, Sheikh Jalil. Sheikh Jalil. He came in the form of Sheikh Jalil, and he attended the meeting. The tribal chiefs, they let him come in and join the meeting since he was considered an elderly person, and he took the permission so that he might would give them give them an advice. So he was allowed to attend the meeting. So when the meeting started, the first opinion was to drive him out of the country, out of the territory, out of Makkah, and this will set the matter right, and this will solve the issue. But this was turned down by Iblis, Sheikh Jalil. He turned it down, that that he is a very soft and sweet spoken. Okay, if we will exile him, he will get other supporters from outside Makkah, and later on he will conquer Makkah. So this was turned down. This suggestion was put forwarded by Abul Aswad. Abul Aswad forwarded, okay, this opinion to exile him, to make him out of the city. The second opinion was to imprison him. Fine. To imprison him, to keep him in bond, to imprison him, उनको कैद कर दें. Fine. So again, this was turned down and it was rejected by Sheikh Jalil. Okay, and he said that that he had a lot of supporters. Definitely, when they will come to know about that he has been imprisoned, they will come and they will set him free. His companions, those who love him, okay, they might raid and they might attack, okay, and they will set him free. So this will also not work. This suggestion was put forwarded by Abu Bukhtari. The first one was Abul Aswad. Abul Aswad. Second was this suggestion, the second suggestion to imprison him, it was given by Abul Bukhtari, ABU, Abu Bukhtari, Bukhtari, Abu Bukhtari. The third suggestion was given by Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl suggested to kill him, to assassinate him, to slay him. Okay, he came up with the idea that he said that to select one person from each tribe would be given a sword in their hand, and they will attack on the Prophet, peace be upon him, simultaneously when he will come out of his house in the morning. Okay, so this was a man from each tribe was sent to kill the Prophet, peace be upon him. This was finally decided. They uh, that person, Sheikh Jalil, Shaitan, Iblis, he appreciated it. Okay, and this was finally decided that they had to kill the Prophet, peace upon him, and one person from each tribe was selected so that the blood of the Prophet, peace upon him, would be distributed amongst all the tribes, and Banu Hashim would not be able to take revenge. They will not be able to fight against these people. Fine. Holy Prophet, peace upon him, was informed about the whole incident, the whole meeting, through the angel Jibrail. And here you can quote the Quranic verse, the verses of Surah Anfal. You should quote in your answer that remember how the unbelievers plotted against you, how the unbelievers plotted against you to keep you in, to imprison you, to keep you in bond, or to imprison you. How the unbelievers plotted against you to imprison you, to kill you, or to exile you from Makkah. So this verse, Surah number 8, verse number 30, could be quoted over here. The translation should be there in your answer. That remember how the unbelievers, they plotted against you to imprison you, to kill you, or to exile you from Makkah. They plot and plan, and Allah too plans, and He is the best of the planners. The best of the planners is Allah Almighty. So they plotted to kill and to assassinate the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and Allah also planned to protect the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, from their evil plan. Holy Prophet, peace upon him, met his friend Abu Bakr, informed him the whole plan, shared the whole plan with him. Okay, and he asked his cousin Ali Radiallahu Ta'ala anhu to sleep in the Prophet's bed and to return the belongings of the Makkans. Okay, Ali Radiallahu Ta'ala anhu was also well aware about about the plan of the Quraysh. He risked his life. He slept in the Prophet's bed, covering himself with the sheet of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Okay, at night, late at night, he left his house, reciting the verses of Surah Yasin, unnoticed by anyone. Okay, unaware of the Prophet's escape. Okay, Holy Prophet, peace upon him, left his house unnoticed by anyone, since he was reciting the verses of Surah Yasin. Okay, you can, if you can quote, you should quote these verses. These verses are verse number 9 of Surah Yasin, that I have placed a barrier, a veil in front of them, and a barrier behind them. So he has been covered up, and they have been made blind. So what is the Quranic verse? You can say that I have placed a barrier in front of them and a barrier behind them. I have covered them so that they cannot see. Allah has put a barrier in front of their eyes. Holy Prophet, peace upon him, left his house, and some sources mention that he took a handful full of dust. He sprinkled the dust on their head, left his house unnoticed by anyone, and first he went to the house of Abu Bakr. Fine. And from there they both went to the cave of Saur, 5 miles from Makkah. Okay, so they, before dawn, before the breaking of dawn, they reached the cave of Saur and they took refuge there. Quraysh were unaware. Next morning, when they did not find the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in his house, and they found Ali Radiallahu Ta'ala anhu in his place, they got too much enraged. With full of rage, they decided to capture him, dead or alive. They announced that whoever will bring the Prophet peace upon him, dead or alive, will be rewarded with 100 fine camels, 100 red camels. It was announced that where whoever will bring the Prophet peace upon him, dead or alive, will be rewarded with 100 camels. They started searching for him, and detectives were sent in all different directions. Okay, we talked about it. Prophet peace upon him asked Ali to sleep in his bed. He came out of his house, threw a dust on them. Okay, you can quote verse number 30, verse number 9 of Surah number 36. Okay, Abu Bakr Radhiyallahu anhu went with him and they took refuge in the cave of Saur. You have to give these details in your answer. Abu Bakr went into the cave. Okay, he made sure that it was clean and safe. Okay, he filled up all the holes in the cave. Whatever holes were there in the cave, that were all filled up by Abu Bakr Radhiyallahu anhu. And at one place he put his foot on it because he was unable to fill it up. Fine. Then he asked the Prophet peace upon him to come in. Prophet peace upon him came in and he slept. Abu Bakr's foot was stung by an insect, a scorpion or whatever harmful insect. Okay, he was stuck by an insect. They stayed in the cave for 3 nights. And during this stay, you can even mention that Abu Bakr's family played a very important role. Abu Bakr's son, okay, he brought the food. And Abu Bakr's daughter Asma, Abu Bakr's son, he would bring the news to them. And Abu Bakr's daughter Asma, she would bring the food for the Prophet, peace upon him, and her father, Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu. So they played a very important role. And Abu Bakr's slave, Amir bin Fuhaira, Abu Bakr's slave was Amir bin Fuhaira. You should know his name because you have to mention later on that he also accompanied both of them in their migration. Amir bin Fuhaira, Abu Bakr's slave, he would graze Abu Bakr's goats near the cave. Okay, it would have a double benefit that they will get fresh milk from these goats, and also along with that, it would remove the footprints of Abu Bakr's son and Abu Bakr's daughter, okay, who traveled there at night. Fine, so this is how they were safe there. It had a very Prophet peace upon him. He was there for 3 days, and Allah also has planned the way that He has to protect these people from their evil plan. We already talked about that Quraysh, they set a price of 100 camels for their capture. That whoever will bring the Prophet peace upon him, or Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, dead or alive, they will be rewarded with 100 camels. Detectives, expert detectives were sent. They started searching for him. They followed the footsteps of the Prophet, peace upon him, from his house. They reached the house of Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu. Abu Jahl was also one of those who reached Abu Bakr's house because they followed the footsteps of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. He asked Asma, Abu Bakr's daughter, about the Prophet and her father. Although she was aware about their whereabouts, but she did not reveal the truth. She was aware that where the Prophet and her father was, so they were, but she did not reveal the truth and the reality to them. Fine. Abu Jahl slapped on her face. Her earring fell down from her ear, but she did not reveal the truth. She did not inform even a single word to them. Okay, they even followed the footstep further and they even reached the entrance of the cave. Okay, they even reached the entrance, the mouth of the cave. And at that time, Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu was too much worried about the Prophet's safety. Okay, and at that time, Holy Prophet, peace upon him, assured him. Holy Prophet reassured Abu Bakr. And there are the Quranic verses that you can also quote about it, that the two were in the cave. And he said to his companion, "Have no fear, Allah is with us." The two, Prophet and Abu Bakr, the two were in the cave. And he said to his companion, "Have no fear, Allah is with us." So this is how they reached the entrance of the cave. If anyone would have looked down, they would have found them. Okay, they would be caught. But since they were under the protection of Allah Almighty, so Allah protected them. If anyone have looked down while standing at the edge of the cave, they would have surely found these men. Okay, and they were hunting for these people. Okay, Prophet peace upon him reassured Abu Bakr radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu by saying, how can you be apprehensive? How you how can you be apprehensive about two with whom is a third? How can you be apprehensive about two with whom is a third? जबकि उनके साथ एक तीसरा भी है, especially when the third one is Allah. The third one is Allah Almighty, who is there to protect them. They did not notice, since you can mention that the entrance was covered with the pigeon's nest, and it was due to the spider web, and it was due to the bushes which grew at the entrance of the cave. So they considered that no one could enter into the cave without disturbing these things. So these two people, they stayed in the cave of Sor for 3 days 3 nights. And next, you have to mention that Abu Bakr had already prepared 2 fine camels for this journey, since the time when he came to know about that the Prophet peace be upon him, that he would accompany the Holy Prophet Muhammad peace be upon him. So they stayed there for 3 days, and then Abu Bakr asked his slave to bring the camels. Okay, and they started their journey towards Medina. On the way, they were almost caught up by Suraka bin Malik, who was a bounty hunter. Suraka bin Malik, you can talk about him, that he has almost caught them up, but his horse kept stumbling. His horse stumbled, and he begged pardon from the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Fine. Suraka cursed the horse, and he thought that it is, but he realized that there is something and there is some power who is protecting the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He surrendered before the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, gave him um, a letter of peace about the fair treatment of Suraka bin Malik in future, that he would be treated fairly in future. Fine. So you can talk about Suraka bin Malik briefly. You can talk about Prophet peace be upon him passed by the tents of Ma'bad. Three things that you have to mention. One thing, that they were almost caught up by Suraka bin Malik. Okay, but his horse kept stumbling. Okay, and he changed his mind and he begged pardon. Prophet peace be upon him gave him a letter of peace, a letter of that safe conduct in future with him, and he returned back with the promise that he will not inform anyone about the Holy Prophet peace be upon him and Abu Bakr, their whereabouts, at where they are, are. Fine. One thing that you can further mention, that Prophet peace upon him passed by the tents of Ma'bad. Just mention that he passed by the tents of Ma'bad. Okay, and one more thing that you have to mention, that Holy Prophet peace upon him passed by men of Banu Aslam, a tribe, Banu Aslam. They accepted Islam while the Prophet peace upon him was migrating to Medina. They accepted Islam. The whole tribe, they came into the folds of Islam at that time. Fine. Holy Prophet peace upon him reached Quba. He reached first on Monday. Rabiul Awwal. He reached Quba and he stayed in Quba for 4 days. Here he established a mosque. That was the first mosque in Islam that you have to mention. He constructed a mosque in Quba and he stayed in Quba for 4 days. For 4 days he stayed in Quba, and here Ali radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu also joined them. Ali radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu also joined the two, Abu Bakr and the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. You can further mention that Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, stayed in the house of Kulsum bin Hadam. At Quba, he stayed in the house of Kulsum, Kulthum, Kulsum bin Hadam. This is also another additional fact that you can add in your answer. Fine. He stayed in the house of Kulsum bin Hadam for 4 days, established a mosque. Ali radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu also caught up with them here. And from here, on Friday, they left for Medina. And on the way, they performed their first Friday prayer in the quarters of Banu Salim. Okay, he performed his first Friday prayer in the quarters of Banu Salim bin Auf, in their settlement, in their quarter. and it was the time to perform the Friday congregational prayer. He led 100 Muslims in the prayer. This was the first Friday prayer which was offered by them. First Friday sermon was given, and later on, Prophet peace upon him arrived in Medina. You have to give the detail that the way he was welcomed by them. Okay, he was welcomed by the people of Medina. They welcomed him. They wanted that Prophet peace upon him would stay with them. Prophet peace upon him asked them to leave the halter of his camel, the she camel. It was Qaswa. Okay, let the she camel go her way. Okay, she is guided by Allah Almighty. And finally, the she camel, it knelt and it stopped at an empty ground, at an empty place. It was the property of two orphans, Sahal and Suhail. Fine, it was the property of two orphans, Sahal and Suhail. Prophet peace upon him decided to construct a mosque there after purchasing and after making the payment. Okay, he wanted to construct a mosque after the making the payment. And while mosque was being constructed, Holy Prophet peace be upon him stayed in the house of Abu Ayyub Ansari radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Abu Ayyub Ansari was the Prophet's host. Okay, he stayed with Abu Ayyub Ansari, and his camel showed them the place to build the mosque. So this is about the major. So whenever you will write such type of answer of such type of questions, you have to expand the way we have expanded, and we have given the detail, give the depth of these events. Okay, and you have to, in order to get the highest level, try to describe and elaborate on most of these details. Then you will be able to get the level 4 marks. So this was all about the Prophet's migration. So whenever you have a question about the events of the Prophet's migration, you should know that Prophet only migrated once, that is towards Medina, Yasrib. Okay, if they have asked you to write about Holy Prophet's migration, write about the migration to Medina. If they have asked about, write about the Prophet's journey from Makkah to Medina, you have to talk about this migration, Makkah to Medina in 622. So you must know that this migration took place in 622 AD, fine, after the pledges of Aqaba. So that was all about the Prophet's migration, and I hope that it is clear to you.